This video will cover mounting your scope to your Ravin Crossbow and a brand new technique that I have developed to laser level your scope for the most accurate shooting available. Stay tuned to see what it is and how it works. Chris here with Chrisville Outdoors, providing you with information to grow your hunting and life experiences. This channel covers product reviews, how-tos, tips, strategies, and hunting videos. Thank you for visiting, and please consider subscribing. Okay, the first step in placing our scope on a Ravin Crossbow is let's make sure that our crossbow is uncocked, and we'll place it in the vise. Snug that down. All right, now we need to place our bottom scope mounts onto the rail, and I've already done this, but mine goes in the second and the fifth groove, and I've already checked my eye relief, so you'll need to do that. Mark your scope and then put your scope rings on. These can be twisted hand tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Snug those up. The next step in the process will be we need to position our laser. Now, what the end result needs to be here is we're going to position our laser shooting from the butt end of the crossbow, and it's going to give us a green light all the way up the stock, all the way down, come across the rail. It's going to split the two mounts. It's going to come across this arrow right here where it tells you to keep your hands out, and then we're going to split the two rollers at the end of the crossbow. Then the laser will go down and portray upon a wall about 25 feet from the crossbow. So at this time we're going to move the camera around, and we'll get the laser set up and get it perfectly aligned with the crossbow. Alright, I have aligned the laser down the center of the Ravin Crossbow. You can see the green light that starts at the back of the stock, comes down, splits the two mounts, comes down, and if I can show you, it also hits dead on the arrow, the warning arrow. It tells you to point your hands outside this area, and then we hit dead center in between the two rollers at the end of the bow. And what I've done is I have perfectly lined up the laser with the crossbow. Now let me walk around. I want to show you the stock, how we leveled the bow with using the laser in the stock. May be hard to see, but I want you to look at the green light of the laser, how I've used it to vertically plumb the crossbow in the vise, just splitting the difference on the stock and centering the laser light in the pad of the stock. This gets the Ravin perfectly level, and then I line it up dead center all the way through the crossbow. Okay, we have positioned our laser. We've lined it up, coming up the back of the stock, all the way down, splitting the scope rings, coming across our arrow here, keeping your hands away, and then splitting the two rollers. So we've got a perfectly straight line from the bottom of our stock, up the stock, all the way down, all the way off the end of the crossbow, hits down here on the wall about 25 feet. All right, now we want to go ahead and place our scope on the bottom rings, and I've already counted for my eye relief, and now go ahead and we'll mount our top rings on here. I like to tighten these by hand to begin with. And then we just want to get it snug. We want to leave where the scope will still turn. We'll have final adjustment to make. And that will be the telling factor of this is when you're going to look through your scope. And like I said, your laser needs to be set up where it will give you a projected perfectly vertical line and horizontal line about 20 feet from you. So I'm actually doing mine down the hallway today. Get these snugged up where you can still rotate the scope. And we'll get that. Careful not to over tighten. Still want to be able to move our scope. But snug so that we're not going to bump it. Okay, there we are. So now I'm just going to rotate my scope to align with the laser coming across the center of the turret here. Once we do that, then we'll look in through the scope and I'll give you a camera view of that. So what we're looking for when I give you the camera view, you're going to see this scope on the Ravin has 20 up to 100 yards dots, but at the top and the bottom of the scope it gives you a partial crosshair. And what we're trying to do is to line that crosshair up directly with the green vertical line. So you'll see some pictures where I'm adjusting, and what you're looking for is your top and bottom crosshair to be perfectly on the vertical line that your laser has portrayed on the wall. When setting the laser up, we have leveled our crossbow in the vise, and how we did that is we let the laser come up vertically on the back of the stock so that we had exactly equal amount on the left and right side. In other words, twisting the crossbow back and forth. I got the laser line directly, I'll show you a picture of that, directly coming up the center of the back of the stock. Now that we've checked the crosshairs and the scope is lined up, we're going to tighten this back down. And as you're doing this, once you get it snug, before you tighten it all the way down, just give a double check, look back through your scope, make sure your crosshairs is lined up with your vertical laser line. Torque these down to the recommended manufacturer specifications. And you're done. Now you have a weapon, a crossbow, that has a perfectly aligned scope and bow, been laser aligned and leveled left to right. So the importance is, why do I need to laser level? 30 years ago, when I put a scope on a gun, I looked through there and I twisted it and I got close as I thought was right and tightened it down. But now these Ravin crossbows are shooting out distances 100, 200 yards. If you want to be accurate at that distance, if your scope, your crosshair is not perfectly plumb with the crossbow, the further the distance and the more that drop comes in, that's going to push you off to left or right, depending on which way you're out. And that's why it's important to use a laser level to level your scope. Sure, you can hang a plumb bob out there and get the exact same result, but the plumb bob will not give you a direct line up the back of your stock. So you can take one laser and I'm going to give you the information at the end of the video shortly here. Tell you what kind I got, but you can take one tool and you can laser level your crossbow or your rifle. I'll have a future video out doing this on my Remington 700, but one laser level will do all this, and it will be perfect if you'll follow these steps and let that green light dictate and get it exactly right. When you go to the field, you're going to have confidence in your weapon that you're laser leveled. New technique. Please comment below. Let me know what you think. I have a surveying engineering background, messing around with a cheap laser one day, and I've been thinking about sighting in my scopes and laser or you know, leveling. I just don't feel good about putting a little level up here on top of the scope and on something that's less than an inch wide and saying, okay, now everything's good. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. This gives me confidence, makes me a better hunter. Please comment. Let me know what you think about the video, but most of all, let me know what you think about the laser and the new technique that I've showed you today. Thumbs up or thumbs down, like or don't, but please comment. I want to hear your thoughts about using a laser level. We're going to show you that right now. So there's my setup. I've used my laser level. I put it on my tripod for my camera, and it worked really good. I had purchased the Tac Life green laser. You can get this on Amazon. I'll leave the information in the description below. Let me take the laser off here. Okay, this is what I did. I bought a Tac Life Test Measure and Inspect cross-line laser, model number SCL07G. They make these in green or red. I prefer the green. It'll allow you to use this outside in case you don't have enough distance in your home. Explain a little bit about this laser. All right, it has a lock. It's got a 1/4 inch tap here. It'll fit on a camera tripod, but you turn the thing on. It's within 4 degrees, I believe it is. It automatically levels itself. So it automatically, I'm going to turn around backwards here if you can see, it'll give you a true horizontal and vertical line that's within 1/8 of an inch, within 30 feet. If you're out of level, it'll flash. So if you're not within that tolerance zone, it'll flash and say you got to get closer to level. Once you do, let's see. Once you do, it'll level itself up. Can't really see where I'm hitting, but I hope you can see that line there. All right, it also has a lock position on it. For some reason, maybe you just need to shoot some straight lines on the wall. You can lock it and twist it around and do whatever you want with it. Okay, laser Tac Life. I believe you can get them for around $45. I think this one was a little more because of the green light. Awesome though, great, just a cool looking tool. It shoots all around the walls, vertical, horizontal, but I figured out how to get my scope perfectly laser level with it. Please comment on the video. Let me know what you think about Tac Light, the laser. Give it a try and let me know how you do. Thank you very much. Chris Fowler Outdoors. Please consider subscribing and give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Thank you very much.